Call the member for Durack.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker, and I think Member Fairfax looks pretty good sitting here next to me, and once again I'm left to talk after the member for Lindsay and improve the tone of this place, and it is absolutely my pleasure to do so. So another day, another issue where Labor, and we've heard in the last half an hour or so, but we know that when they were in charge of childcare, they made a real meal of it, Deputy Speaker. Before I talk about the improvements to childcare, I thought we'd just take a little tiny walk down memory lane of when those opposite, all those long dark years, some 3 years ago. Productivity Commission, independent body, as you know, Deputy Speaker, found that the Labor's irresponsible increase in the rate of childcare rebate in July 2008 led to an accelerated increase in the average annual long daycare fees. Let there be no doubt in everyone's mind here, Deputy Speaker, the Australian Labor Party have no credibility on childcare reform, absolutely none. This government's childcare package, as we know, was announced in the 2015 budget, and under the federal government's package, members on this side of the chamber will make the single largest investment in early learning and childcare that this country has ever seen. Great news for parents, education and childcare in my electorate of Durack. And just so those opposite can comprehend, and pleased to see there's still a few left in the chamber, Deputy Speaker, not only is the federal government ending Labor's waste, we are making a record and unprecedented investment in education at the early age and also supporting the most vulnerable Australians to enable them to get ahead. Mr Speaker, as you know, the federal government understands the cost of living has risen significantly in recent years, and with our childcare package, we want to help people who are trying to help themselves. It's as simple as that. There are new job opportunities being created every day in my electorate of Durack, from the Kimberley in the north to the wheat belt in the south of my electorate. And this package will assist those parents in picking up a couple of extra hours on a day, or a couple of extra shifts a week, or perhaps work outside of the usual 9 to 5, Deputy Speaker. Unlike the Labor Party, our package won't just provide parents with a break, and I accept there are some people, as the member for Lindsay described, that for families with special needs, this does provide a break, and I accept that. But I can tell you there'll be many people in this place that know that parents, especially mothers, and I know many of them are my friends, Deputy Speaker, that take advantage of childcare in order to give themselves a break. They go to the gym, they get their nails done, and I think I'm entitled to say this because I've seen it firsthand. When my friends are using childcare and my child's not able to go to that place because it's full. Now, that's not where about in this place here. We need to back parents who want to get ahead, accepting that there are some people, and I accept the member for Lindsay, had a special need. But as my colleagues have said earlier, this government's package will provide genuine reform for a simpler, more affordable, accessible and flexible childcare system. And as someone that has used childcare, as I've just said, this is a complicated system that we currently have, and we must make it simpler. It's as simple as that. With our reforms, those earning the least will be able to enjoy the biggest rebate, up to 85%. And that's the way it ought to be. The most vulnerable should get a helping hand. No denying that. And as you earn more, well, of course, the rebate reduce, which is absolutely the way it ought to be. Remember, we are spending taxpayers' dollars here. We need to be careful. We are the government. We must be careful. We must be responsible. Previously, there was little point, as the cost of childcare would significantly eat into any extra earnings that parents would make. So that's what we're saying now. We're going to back you. You want to work that extra shift? Previously, there would be no point because it would be eaten up with childcare costs. But that exercise would be futile. Now they'll be able to do it. I just want to make a point, Deputy Speaker. We've heard from the member Adelaide and also the member for Lindsay talking about the Indigenous organisations and how they're going to be worse off. Well, as the member for Durack and member of this federal government, we will ensure that services supporting our most disadvantaged families, and I've got hundreds of them in my electorate, let me tell you, Deputy Speaker, they will continue to have access to the same opportunities for additional funding available to other childcare services. So it is not true what those opposite have said. This is just the usual rubbish that comes over the boundary. I'm stunned that the Labor Party, who claim to represent the working class, which I've said in this chamber before is just simply isn't true, are trying to make childcare more expensive and less fair once again. We on this side of this chamber, we're backing hard-working Australians, Deputy Speaker. those who are there that want to provide for their family and to get ahead. That's what I stand for, Deputy Speaker. I'm not sure what those on the opposite side stand for.